Okay. Hello, my name is Anthony Mota, and this is my term project on hurricanes and global climate change. So, what are hurricanes? Hurricanes are a low pressure that travels usually over the Atlantic. It's a big cyclone storm that forms over the tropical or subtropical oceans, so they require water that's warm or that's warmer, that's about like 77 degrees. You get up to wind speeds of at least 74 miles per hour of warm, moist air. And of course, the Coriolis effect causes this to spin in a counterclockwise spin. And there's about 100 hurricanes that occur worldwide each year, not just in the Atlantic, which has a maximum of 30, and but also in the typhoon seasons and cyclone seasons. So, what are the main causes of hurricanes? So, we s- you know there's we start with the really intense low pressure cell with enormous columns of rising moist air. It's fed by warm water from a tropical ocean, latent heat of consideration as it condenses, and there's a lot of kilocalories per liter that are released, which give the storm a lot of energy, and that's what makes them so powerful. As the air keeps on rising, the low pressure gets stronger and develop in a tropical low, so this thing becomes a big storm of some kind. And also, hurricanes usually, when they hit the land, become weaker because they're no longer fed by the energy from the warm ocean water. So the deadliest hurricane in the U.S. history was the Galveston, Texas, disaster that happened in September 8th of the 1900s. Um, there were the exact number of people killed wasn't never it's still unknown, but an estimate was around 8,000 people that had died on the island, and many more died on the actual city. And it destroyed around 2,000 and 636 homes in Galveston and damaged an estimate of 28 to 30 million in property loss. So, how global warming will make hurricanes more destructive? So, as our climate warms, we see greater winds, higher storm surges, and record rainfalls during hurricane season, which makes these storms more dangerous and costly. So, actually, global climate models suggested that um, hurricanes will likely result in more intense rainfall and higher danger of coastal flooding due to storm surges brought on by rising seas and result of global warming. Furthermore, while storms may decline or stay the same globally, hurricanes that do emerge are more likely to intensify. So, sea level rise and the effects on hurricanes. So, sea level rise makes storm surge worse. Um, large storm surges are produced when more water is pushed up along the coast and the higher winds blowing over the ocean. Along beaches, storm surges are frequently the main source of destruction and fatalities. More water falls as heavy rains from larger hurricanes in a warming environment, so this makes higher winds, larger storms, and more participation, all made possible by warmer ocean during hurricanes. So, coastal storms are already becoming more destructive due to sea level rise, and this trend is predicted to increase. The average sea level has risen more than half a foot since the 1900s and is predicted to rise another one or two, half feet in this century. These impacts will be most several in the coastal areas. So sea level rise have exacerbated the effects of multiple recent storms and raised the risk of coastal flooding. So like taking to Hurricane Katrina, flood elevations were 15% to 60% greater than they were in 1900s due to rise in sea levels. Sea levels during the time of also of Hurricane Sandy raised the likelihood of flooding by 3 times. So, taking into the near future now, further rising sea levels will increase the likelihood of severe flooding by four times in the future. So, it will cause a way more massive disruption. So, I feel like this is a major issue that It's going to be more affected as time goes on with climate change, global warming, and that's the end of my presentation.